On the Disney Treasure, we're going to talk about, was it worth it? Was the price worth it? What did we do? What did we like? What did we not like? And would we do it again? We're going to talk about that today. So we went on the Disney Treasure, and for context, it was me and my 18-year-old son, and we have other vlogs if you're interested in seeing about how our trip went, first impressions and different things like that, like the Haunted Mansion. But it launched in December of 2024, and we went on in June of 2025. So about 6 months after it kind of brushed the cobwebs out, if you will, with my 18-year-old son. It holds about 4,000 passengers. We had been on the Disney Dream and once and the Disney Fantasy twice. So this was our fourth cruise, although my son was much younger and doesn't remember a whole lot about it. But my whole family had gone on those. First of all, first impressions, it's beautiful, gorgeous. In my opinion, I mean, they're all beautiful, but the Disney Aladdin theming was just really, really stunning with the deep blues and golds. And the Aladdin theme was just really, really cool when you go into the Grand Hall. I love having a Grand Hall. I think it's gorgeous and super, super fun. So first of all, the price is expensive. So for context, we could actually get, for our family of 5, 2 balcony rooms with the drink packages included for about the same price, if not somewhat cheaper than our Disney Treasure balcony room was for 2 people in 1 room. Now, it was a new ship, so it is more expensive, and Royal Caribbean can be expensive that way as well. I will do a comparison of Royal Caribbean versus Disney in another video, so if you'd like that, comment below if that interests you, because that has been some comments I've received feedback on to talk about the differences in those. But it is expensive, so it isn't really worth that price from a standpoint of other cruise lines. So from a dining experience, and Jackson and I differed on this a little bit. So the main dining room is different on Disney than it is on other cruise lines, where you have 1 dining room, 1 table, the same servers. You go there and you have your various menus. On Disney, they have 3 themed restaurants that you rotate through, and you are assigned a rotation through those 3 restaurants. And you do have the same servers, they do follow you. So from a customer service standpoint, great, awesome, impeccable. I think, you'll find that very, very high quality. And the 3 restaurants on Disney Treasure were Marvel, which we're Marvel fans, which we really loved. 1923 restaurant, which is the Roy and Walt Disney Imagineers restaurant. Coco, Plaza de Coco, which is the Mexican inspired from the Coco theme. And those we rotated through, each of them twice, with the 7th night, or whatever pirate night you have, is a pirate themed menu that all 3 restaurants had, and you are assigned there on the 7th night with the same menu and the pirate theming. So what do we think of the dining? First of all, we don't mind the rotational dining. We kind of love the themed dining in a lot of ways. We especially love Marvel. So we do like that. From a quality of food standpoint, now I would say the quality of food, in my opinion, on Disney was better. I feel like it was just a step up better than other cruise lines like Royal Caribbean from that standpoint. Now, Jackson would say he thought Royal Caribbean was better. He liked Disney dining, but he thought the food could be a little weird. So he, but he ate it. It was fine. He thought that was good. So from that perspective, we kind of differed on that. So really, you couldn't go wrong in our opinion. One of the things, though, that I did not like, and in my opinion, this is kind of a big con, is you cannot get, unless you're in a suite, but if you're in a regular room, we were in a balcony room, hot breakfast for room service. If you followed me before, we like to order room service before we go on an excursion in the morning. And so your room service, which is a pro, is included in your cruise fare. On other cruise lines, you have to pay for that. So this is included. It is 24 hours, but not a hot breakfast. So in the morning, you could order your coffee, like your pastries, your juices, your milks, and your cold cereals. But if you want a yogurt or an oatmeal or eggs, that is not offered at all. So keep that in mind, that if you are used to having something like that, you are not going to have that option on room service unless you have a suite. So to me, that was a con. But it was 24 hours, so that was also a pro. Another con, frankly, is the limited times for Disney. So there is no buffet in the evening. And I feel like this is probably, in my opinion, the number 1 con. There is no buffet in the evenings. They really want you to go towards the rotational dining. The only option you really have, if the rotational dining times, for example, don't work for you or don't work for your family for whatever reason, is you could get a burger and hot dog at the quick service. But they even closed down the other quick service, like the pizzas and things like that, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then it opens back up again at 9 p.m., which just seems bizarre to me. And you have no option for a buffet, which you do on other cruise lines if you want to just have more of a casual atmosphere. Your only other option is the hamburger, the hot dog, or room service, a limited menu option of room service. So for me, that was kind of a big con. One of the main reasons is we got late dining. We tried getting early dining, but we could not get that. So you didn't really eat, and we're not really late eaters until really it was close to 9 p.m. before your dinner entree came. So if you have kids and you can't get early dining, that could be really late for them. Now they do offer where they'll feed them a little quicker. And if they're in the clubs, like the kids clubs, which we'll talk about, they'll actually come get them and bring them to the clubs. So you can have that service if that's an option for you. But really, your only other option is a hamburger, hot dog, or room service to your room. So to me, that was also a big con. And even the buffet times at lunch, I think it was over at like 1 p.m. So if you wanted to sleep in a little bit later and you had to go up to the buffet and get something, or main dining to get your breakfast, and you wanted to eat lunch a little bit later, especially if you had a later dining time, like maybe you wanted to eat lunch around 2 or 3 because you knew you weren't going to be eating until 9 p.m. that night, the only options was quick service then. The buffet was closed as well, and the main dining was closed at that time. Now, nobody starved. You're never going to starve on a cruise, but I do think it's important to know that because I did not know that. And that is a change from when we had gone on other Disney cruises. So there's your PSA for that part of it. The entertainment. Now, this is where Disney is awesome. They have live performances that are Broadway quality, super, super, super good. We went to Beauty and the Beast and Moana were the two we went to. We enjoyed Beauty and the Beast the most. As a matter of fact, my 18-year-old said he didn't really want to go to Beauty and the Beast, but he ended up staying for the whole thing and he loved it. So the quality is absolutely awesome. And then it has different signature events that happen as well during your cruise, like the color spin party. And I have a video that talks about that. And then they have the pirate night, which this is on other cruise lines as well. And they have the only fireworks at sea. So in my opinion, the pirate night is a must see. It's really, really, really good. Based in Captain Jack Sparrow and the fireworks. Now it gets very, very busy. Know this, if you want a really good standing room only seat, you'll want to, get there early. If you want to see the fireworks the best, you can go up to the second deck on the right side, I guess. Oh, I'm going to get that wrong, so I'm not even going to try to say port. If I look it up, I'll look it up below, and I'll put it down below. So you have the right side for the fireworks. You'll be able to see things. They have video screens, but if you really want to experience that, I was on the second deck and had fantastic viewing from there. You will be shocked by how many people dress up. So if you love pirates and you love Pirates of the Caribbean, you can dress young, old, doesn't matter, male, female, anything in between. People really get into the theming of pirates. And there's kind of all day, like they'll have different games, different trivias, different pirate themed meals. You'll also get an included bandana. So if you didn't bring anything, you can wear a bandana, which is what I did for this event, and really get into that theming of the pirates event. Now, the night that we were supposed to have the pirate event, right when it was getting ready to start, it started pouring down rain. So we were all outside, we got wet, but never fear, they actually rescheduled it for 2 nights from that night. So we were lucky that they had it in the middle of our cruise. So we had some options for them to reschedule it, and they did reschedule Pirate Night. We all got dressed up again and did the Pirate Night a different night, so that was fun. They also then brought an indoor activity for music and things that was scheduled for outdoors. They brought indoors and they announced it overhead as to what time that would start. So they will try to accommodate that with weather as well. Then there's other lounges like the Skipper Society, which is kind of a jungle cruise theme. And of course, there's the Periscope Pub, which is themed after 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Very, very cool. It has a ceiling that you'll see sharks and fish. We actually ate there one evening because, again, I guess that's another option that is you could pay for that we did because we didn't want to have a hamburger and burger. We went to the Periscope Pub one evening after an excursion for supper, and we ordered the pretzel, which is humongous, the size of my head, the fish and chips, and the churros. And that was very, very good. We would eat that again. In my opinion, the pretzel was fantastic. That was my favorite part of the whole thing. But the theming is very, very good and very fun. So we would definitely do that again. And then, of course, the Haunted Mansion and Scat Cat's Lounge. So I have a video that talks about Haunted Mansion, one of our favorites, our absolute favorite lounge. So if you haven't seen that, take a look at that. But I did not talk about the Scat Cat Lounge. And the Scat Cat Lounge is more of a jazz, I guess I would call it, kind of theming. And one of the things is that's only open in the evening. So that has set times that it's open. And so the last night we finally were like, okay, we're going to do this. We actually went on the Aqua Mouse, which had no lines. By the way, if you want to go on the Aqua Mouse with no lines, go during the early dining time or a dining time. Everybody's in the meals and nobody's on the Aqua Mouse. So we did that. But be warned, you will get wet. That was one thing. We didn't think we'd get that wet. You will. It was fun. We loved it. But we got wet and changed our clothes and ran down to the Scat Cat Lounge because they do kind of lock the doors once the music starts. They had a piano player in there, and I'm assuming that's not interrupt, and there's limited seating. So we got in there minutes before it started, and we sat down, and I ordered one of the drinks that is called the hibiscus tea, and it is an alcoholic drink that's at least for 2 people, and it comes in a teapot. Very, very cool presentation, and they do this whole presentation, which I'll show on the video. Very fun. It's more of a margarita style tea. Like, it kind of has that kind of flavoring in my opinion, but really fun. Definitely enough for 2 people. And so something that you could enjoy as well there. They had trivia, which we really enjoyed. One of the nice things about Disney is they have 18 plus trivia only. And they are pretty strict about not having anybody under 18 there. And they are much less crowded. So if they have family trivia, which gets much more crowded, and then they have 18 plus trivia. And we would do both. We were fine with both, but we went to the 18 plus trivia, and you knew you always had a seat. You could get there right on time, and just kind of a fun, more adult atmosphere, which we really enjoyed that as well. We would do the Imagineer drawings. We actually even once did I think it was bingo in the kids club. So they have an all age, sometimes different games as well that they would do in the kids clubs, or like the Edge. So not the younger one, it would be more of the tween and teen area. And you could win prizes. And so Jackson and I actually did it. And no, we didn't take these away from kids. There was multiple prizes, but we did win magnets and different pins. So it's really hard to win the prizes in the adults only, or even the family. People are really, really good at Disney trivia, and they give out really cool prizes like some hats, some medals, different things like that. And you can do teams. So if you're in a group, you can have teams up to 4 for either the adult or the family trivia. And you can have a team, and they will have oftentimes 4 prizes for that team of 4. So keep that in mind if you want to get all your brains together to try to win those elusive medals that they have. One of the things though that was a con, no walking deck. And I can't even believe this. So if you followed me, I love to walk on cruises. I love to walk the decks in the morning, in the evening, and kind of any time in between. And Disney on Disney Treasure, and I'm told this is the Wish as well, does not have a full walking deck. So that was a disappointment, frankly, and something I did not realize. It does on Disney Fantasy and Disney Dream, but the Disney Treasure does not have a walking deck. It does have a full gym, a beautiful gym, but no walking deck. So keep that in mind. Again, the theming throughout the entire ship is amazing, especially if you love Disney. The coffee shops, we went to Hey Hey pretty often. It's very, very good. If you want to see more about the staterooms, I do have a video about that. But one of the things that we really liked about the stateroom is they have a curtain in between. So not only do you have 2 split bathrooms, so one has a toilet and a vanity sink and a mirror, the other one has the shower and the vanity sink and mirror, so both could be getting ready at the same time. But one nice thing is we kind of felt like we had our own privacy, because it also has a curtain that goes all the way across. So Jackson had his side when he was sleeping on the pullout, and then I had my bed as well. And so it offered you some privacy, which was really nice. And so now where I think Disney again shines the most is in the kid experiences. So they have the Oceaneer Club, which is from ages 3 to 12, I believe. And they have Star Wars, Cargo Bay, Marvel, Superhero Academy, Imagineering Lab with all the things. And you'll have characters there, games. Your kids will beg you to go there. Literally, when we were at Plaza de Coco, there was actually, I think he was more in the tween area, but not 100%, was like, please, Mom and Dad, can I get done with supper so I can just go to the kids club? So know that it is not like going to daycare at all. It is fun. Your kids will love to be there, and they are well trained and very safe to go to those kids clubs. Then they have the Edge, which is the tween area, and the Vibe, which is the teen area, which is dedicated spaces with games and trivia and supervision for those age groups. And again, when my older two, when we went on Disney Fantasy, they loved Edge, which was the tween area. They would have like dodgeball and they go to the basketball courts. They do all sorts of fun things, scavenger hunts throughout the ship. So really, really, really fun. And I think that your kids at those ages will really enjoy that. And then for under 3, they have a paid nursery. This one is not included in your fare, and you do need to reserve it in advance, called It's a Small World Nursery for the little ones. But they have the cribs and all the under 3 age activities and those supervisions for that. So how were the excursions then? So we did excursions when we were there. So one of the things is the private island, of course, is Castaway Cay. And we did the snorkeling event, which is included and all that. I was going to do the marathon. I had done the 5K marathon in the past. Do note, they don't have that on the app at all as an activity. You just need to know it's there and it is outlined. You talk to a cast member when you get off the ship onto the island, and they'll direct you to where to go. And they do have medals if you complete that. This time I decided not to do it. And if you want pictures with characters or in front of the ship, this is the time to do it. Castaway Cay is the time to do it. So have all your family together when you're getting off the ship, and you can get a picture of you in front of the ship, a great view with the photographer. And then they also have characters like Captain Jack Sparrow and Mickey and Daisy and Donald Duck and Goofy and those characters at different times. And your app will tell you when those characters are there, so you know what time you want to get off the ship. So one of the things that we did is, again, we went snorkeling because I had done that with my older 2 years ago, but had not done with that Jackson. And Jackson and I were really excited about that. We actually brought our own snorkeling gear as well. I will link that below if you're interested in it. It was very inexpensive and worked fantastic. But the snorkeling. So when you snorkel out there, they have Mickey statues and ships and all sorts of fish, of course, to see. But it is a long ways. Seemed much farther than when I had done it 10 years ago. I mean, it took us almost 15 to 20 minutes at least of good swimming to get out to the area to even start to see that stuff. You do have to wear a life jacket and, of course, the snorkeling gear. But then you can go around in that area. And then remember, you have another 15 to 20 minute swim back to shore. And that's before, like I said, before you get to anything really other than fish. So do know that from an activity level, it was strenuous. I mean, we actually both, and I'm in shape. I work out every day, and it was strenuous. Like I would, especially in the heat, and if you didn't eat much, it was just farther than I thought, but very, very cool experience. One of the unique things is I heard the lifeguards say, "Oh, I think there's a barracuda in the water." And literally Jackson came face to face with a barracuda. He said he put his head down, and there was the barracuda kind of right in front of him. Stopped right at his head. And he was like, "Oh, I'm done." So we swam back to shore, after having that. And like I said, all in, we were probably out there almost 2 hours, and we were pretty wiped by the time it was done. They do have a buffet. We did not eat at the buffet. We've done that before on the beach. We chose to go back to the ship and eat because I just feel like the ship food is better in my opinion. But it has shops. It has an adult only area. So you will not be disappointed by Castaway Cay. It is a beautiful island and just a really, really fun experience. So do know that. Some other cons that I would say about Disney is the crowds. Now there's crowds on and lines on every ship. So this is not necessarily unique to Disney. Disney has amazing characters. I feel like you can have an opportunity to see way more opportunity to see more characters on a ship than you do at Disney World. And it will be on your app. So you'll know exactly what characters you want to go see and what time and where they need to meet. But if you want to see them and avoid some of the lines, you need to be there 15 to 30 minutes ahead of time in order to see those characters without having to wait too much in line. And if you want to do the Disney Princess, I think it's called the Royal Gathering, you need to schedule that ahead of time. Now, if you could not get in, the first day you get on ship, like the very first day, go to customer service and see if you can get scheduled, because they had it multiple times throughout the week. And so if that's important to you and your princesses, do get that scheduled, because that's a really fun opportunity. So while there is the characters that are scheduled in your app, you will see characters throughout the ship just randomly. And we would see that too and get pictures with them. And that was kind of fun as well. So just know that characters are there, but the crowds can get pretty long. And some of the signature events can get pretty crowded. But that's really not different than other cruise lines. And then I would say the final con is the pools. So, we did not need to go in the pools. We were kind of not there for that part of the experience. But normally we are. The pools are very small. They all have a lifeguard. There's life jackets and lifeguards available. They're very crowded on sea days. If you want to have less crowds, you need to go like during mealtime or early in the morning. And sometimes they even close some of them off. Like they'll put the nets on them and they don't even have them utilized. On the adult only part, this was a small area, much smaller than the Disney Fantasy and Disney Dream ships. It was adult only, 18 and plus. They do have more padded cushioned chairs. They have a small infinity pool. It has its own bar and lounge, but it was crowded. The only day it really wasn't crowded that chairs were available was when it was port days, like days that we were actually at port. And then there was opportunities to enjoy that. But if you have little ones that like to swim, just know it can get very, very crowded on those pool days and on those pool ships. One of the things that can be a pro or a con was they show Disney movies over the pools, which we actually enjoy sitting down and having a drink and watching a Disney movie. That actually is pretty fun. But because of that, you're not going to have that DJ style music if you're used to that on other cruise lines. So you're going to have more Disney movies, not DJ music from that perspective. But that can be kind of fun as well. But they do also have 2 real movie theaters. Like they were showing brand new movies. So that when we were there, the new, oh goodness, the 2 new movies, and I'll have to put them down below, came out, and we were able to watch those. So I will try to link those below if I can't think of them right now. But yeah, if it's a Disney movie, it's fresh out in the theaters, it will be on the ship. And they have popcorn for a charge, and pop or candy that you can bring in the theater and watch those movies if that's something that interests you. And we did do that one time as well. So overall, we really enjoyed the Disney Treasure. It definitely is different. There's limited late night activities, but again, we're fine with that because we're not, big late night people anyway. We would definitely do it again, but I would have to say, and from a customer service standpoint, it is definitely Disney customer service. But in my opinion, the customer service is good on other cruise lines as well. I mean, I wouldn't say it's any better or any worse, if I'm being completely honest. But if I had kids, especially in the tween and under, hands down, I would go to Disney because you're going to have a nice blend of adult time and family time. And we've done that hands down. They just do the clubs the best. The kids clubs the best. It's just not even close. If I was going above, for the price point, I would probably pick another cruise line. I would definitely do Disney again. As a matter of fact, we want to do the Heroes and Villains Disney Destiny ship that's going to be coming up here in the next year or 2. So still love Disney, but you have to love Disney and its theming to enjoy this. So I just think that you need to know that. And that's just my honest opinion on it. So again, Disney does what Disney does best, and that's the immersive theming. That's the service, the family friendly comes first and safety first. And that's just what they do. One last note, one other con that I forgot to mention is onboarding. So onboarding, Disney still does, you get your group numbering and you have to wait and get in that line. Where other cruise lines, if you want to, buy a fast pass, I'll call it, whether it's the key, other things, you can do that. There's not that option unless you're in a suite for Disney. So do know you're going to have some waiting as well to get on. It wasn't very long and it was fine. It's no big deal, but I do think that's important to know. And the other part was the internet package. In my opinion, the internet package was equal to other cruise lines like Royal Caribbean or Celebrity or Virgin Voyages. I felt like it was fine. Price point was similar. So I felt like that was fine if that's important to you, if you do remote working or things like that. Again, it's not the cheapest vacation at sea for sure, but it is an unforgettable experience and we are so glad we did it and we would do it again. So what do you think? Do you think it was worth it? Would you be willing to try it? If you found this helpful at all, please give me a like and subscribe. And it really helps move my channel forward.